So I think when people do things that are not great is when they lose hope in their life and they do things out of a fear response. And it is troublesome when you see that, when you sort of see that, wait a minute, you just simply have to look at it a different way. And then all of a sudden things come together and you see, instead of seeing bleakness, you see opportunities. You see many wonderful things around you that you can possibly do. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massac. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation, Strategy, and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I wanted to pay the favor forward to help you out. And I'm walking Babs right here, the other star of the show. Okay, so we got to remember that a lot of the things that you are experiencing, so if you feel that you're alone, you feel like you're trapped, you feel stuck, you feel like everybody is coming to, you're just not in a really good spot. You feel that there's people that are around you that are tearing you down. All of that stuff is true. No matter where you are in your life, you feel like that. And you feel not great. I've felt like that many times. In the last few years, I've felt like that. And you probably have noticed that sometimes on these video talks. I've felt like that in other times past. But I want everybody to remember and to think about is that the reason why you feel like that is because you're scared. You have a fear response that's going on. And somebody has gotten you to see the world in a negative light. And you're seeing it in such a way that you don't have any opportunities. You are stuck. And you don't really know what you can possibly do. And it's easy for people to do that. If you're around certain people that sort of suck the life out of you, if you start sort of fixating on how difficult things are, you'll realize that, wait a minute, the world is negative. The world is stuck for me, and I can't do anything that I would like to do. And it's an easy way to sort of think about the world. But I want you to think about the world in a completely different way. I want you to sort of see the opportunities that are around, and that there's amazing opportunities that are out there, and they're really subtle and they're really easy to sort of pursue these things. But the problem is they're subtle and they're easy to pursue these things. So part of the reason why I'm doing this reciprocity project, and now I realize it after doing it for several years, is because that there's opportunities that are there that I don't normally see or I can't see right now. There's many opportunities that are available. So I don't know who's gonna watch these videos. I don't know who's gonna need it at the right time. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this stuff. But what I do know is if I keep doing these things, it gives me more and more chances at different opportunities. So it might be somebody, maybe it's going to be the most, I don't know, maybe, the most famous, Elon Musk. Maybe Elon Musk will watch this video one day and say, hey, wait a minute, that person, I really like what they're saying. I actually want to reach out to them. And then all of a sudden I become the CEO of SpaceX or something stupid. No, it's completely crazy to think about that, but that's how these things work. That is literally how it works. And so what I want you to do, instead of feeling sorry and stuck about yourself, is to sit and think about how you can enact where you want to go. What does that look like for you? What are you going to do to enact your future? And when you're doing it, don't be afraid of it feeling silly and goofy. If you told somebody, So right now, at your point, right? Like maybe you're an inner city kid in Chicago at this moment, and you're gonna tell them that you want to be the next vice president of Apple, and you're an inner city kid. You're 13 years old at this point. Man, you tell anybody around you that you want to be the next VP of Apple, they're gonna laugh at you and they're gonna say, that is bananas. You're nuts. And everybody's gonna make fun of you, and worse yet, they're gonna put you down. They're gonna shun you. They're not gonna be around you in any sort of way. They're gonna say that you're a stupid kid. But they don't understand how life works. They really don't. Because the way that you actually become the next vice president of Apple is you start being fixated with it. And you think about, okay, well, how do I do that? Well, maybe it's Apple, maybe I need an engineering degree. And so I get an engineering degree. And then you realize, wait a minute, I don't have an MBA, so I go get an MBA. And wait a minute, I need experience with Apple. So I apply and I apply and I apply, and then I get that job at Apple. And then I think about like, well, maybe I need to figure out how to work in corporate life. And then you get your corporate life going. And then over the course of 30 years, you become the next vice president of Apple. And that's how these things work, over and over and over again. It's enacting what you actually want. And I gotta remind everybody, anybody that would have thought that I would have been doing this, or that I would have been a business professor in a good institution when I was growing up in another country, a completely weird part of the world for me, man, you have no clue how crazy that sounds. Absolutely crazy. It is the most bonkerous thing in the world. And I still think like that. I still see it. How the heck did this little country bumpkin from the middle of nowhere that grew up in northern Ontario in a town of 6,000 people living in the country with all of the things that you would imagine, you name it, all of that stuff, whatever you can think of in terms of adversity and all that kind of stuff, you name it, I've experienced it. And you would ask that kid at 10 years old what I would have done. I might have said that. I might have said, hey, wait a minute, this sounds like a cool career. I might have said, maybe I want to be a business professor. But everybody else, every single person around me would have said, who the hell are you? What do you think? Who do you think you are? Everyone. And they would have all shunned me. They would have all made fun of me. All of that stuff. I just want to remind you that put on your blinders. Have that faith in yourself that good things are going to happen. And it just requires an awful lot of work. I don't think it's going to happen like today. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But you know what? In 30 years, it's a possibility. And it's a strong possibility. Not a possibility as like this is a pipe dream and you have a 10% chance of this happening. Like on days where you see the weather and it says 10% chance of raining and you're like, it ain't gonna happen. This is like you have a 75% chance of getting to where you want to go to, no matter what crazy thing that you're thinking of. It's all that way. You just simply have to have those blinders on and keep going and not lose faith in yourself. Day in and day out. Do you think it feels great right now, building this platform and all of that kind of stuff? Building the reciprocity platform when everybody thinks it's a pipe dream and it's crazy? Heck no. It does not feel good, but I'm doing it. And I'm doing all that I can every day to make it happen. And some days it's not a lot, but many days it is. And that's what you got to do, day in and day out, and keep pursuing what you really want to pursue. You have unbelievable opportunities. You just got to do it. And don't give up on yourself. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.